Alright, so if you've been struggling in the financial markets trading futures recently, then you need to check out my video right now, because I'm going to show you my strategy. 80% win rate over the past few years, trading 25 futures accounts, having an excellent time, I have to say, getting multiple payouts. And it's really simple. It's going to take you like 5 minutes to learn it. So let's get into it. If you do want to get alerts and signals for all of my trades, you can get them in the description below. And please do drop a like on the channel, because it really helps it out. So let's just say this is your market structure like this. And all I do at the start of the day is I'll just go and mark out on my major swing lows like this. Really, really simple. Takes you like 5 seconds to do. Just say go do it on like the 5 minute or the 15 minute. Just the obvious ones. And then all I do is I just set alerts at these levels. Like this. And I'll just basically be looking for price to come back and hit one of these levels. And then once that happens, I'm looking for inversions back to the upside. Everyone knows by now that inverted fair value gaps have been a pretty crazy trend recently, but I've actually found a system that works for me really, really well. And it cuts a lot of the nonsense out that I've been having to deal with trying to trade this strategy on like loads of different IFVGs or whatever the IFVGs, inverted fair value gaps. I use inverted fair value gaps, but I just call them inversions. And basically, you just want to be looking for liquidity sweep and then an inversion, and it's really that simple on the 3 or the 5 minute time frame. And the ones that you're looking for that are the best are these 3 candle pattern V shapes like this, where basically price comes down, sweeps a level of liquidity, and then you create your fair value gap like this. Fair value gap is a gap between 2 candles like this. Really, really easy to spot on the chart, especially on like the 5 minute. And then you're looking for a 3 or a 4 candle inversion. 4 candle inversions are also very good, but these 3 candle ones are the best, and I'll show you some examples in a bit. And then my strategy, very simple. I enter on the inversion. I copy trade all 25 of my accounts at once, and basically I risk about $200 per trade. So I'll size for about halfway between the low and the gap, and then basically if we come down close below the gap, I'll consider that a loss and I'll close the trade. And then what I do is I target a 1-for-1 for my first take profit. Once we hit a 1-for-1, which I pretty much always do, because you usually get a good amount of momentum if you get a 3 candle pattern V shape from a sweep like this off a major low. You will pretty much always hit a 1-for-1 in my experience. We'll come up if we hit the 1-for-1, then I'll basically scale half my position for $100 profit if I'm risking $200, and then go break even on the rest, and then I'll leave runners to target liquidity above. And the liquidity can be discretionary. Sometimes you can run for like a 10-to-1 if you're, you know, fairly patient and lucky. And this is my strategy. So if we had the inversion here, I would size for about halfway between the low and the gap there, targeting 1-for-1. Once we hit the 1-for-1 here, go break even on the rest, and then just target runners up through liquidity, maybe 50% of this run down here, maybe this high, and then maybe leave runners just past this high here, or maybe even sometimes I trail my final micro if we've got a lot of momentum. It really depends on the situation, but this is my strategy. You can obviously adapt it to suit your own tastes, but I find this to be really simple and easy to follow. And basically, I've got an incredibly high win rate with it because I'm just trading from liquidity with high probabilities of reversals. So basically, I'm just going to show you some of the trades I've taken recently. This week has been very weird price action. I actually haven't taken any trades this week at all, because Monday we had an incredible pump, ridiculously huge pump. Tuesday we had a ridiculously huge dump. Wednesday we kept dumping again, and there wasn't really any entries here for inversions that I would have liked. As you can see, we kept dumping. Thursday, yesterday, again, really odd price action. We basically did have a 5 minute inversion that you could have taken, but it formed very awkwardly, and it was right at open as well, which I tend not to like. You can see here, this 5 minute inversion formed right at open, as you can see. So this would have worked for a 1-for-1, but I didn't take this, and I wouldn't have alerted that because it's a very, very strange. Technically, you did get your sweep and you did get an inversion here, but you can see this is just really weird. I wouldn't have taken this. And really, yesterday there was nothing else. We kept grinding all the way to the downside. We did eventually sweep out some lows down here that were really, really significant, but you can see there's no gap here that we could have taken for a 5 minute inverse, although this would have been a good area to take one from. And then so far today for Friday, you can see we've just been bullish. So basically, we've got no chance of an entry right now unless we come down, sweep one of these lows and look for a 5 minute inversion or a 3 minute. I like to take the 3 and the 5 minute ones the most. They have the most high probability for me personally trading. But I did take 3 trades last week, so I'm going to show you those ones because these are absolute bangers. This first one is absolutely incredible. Let me just show you the scenario. So we're coming to Monday. I wake up at about 8 o'clock London session because I'm UK time. So this is like 3 in the morning for US people. But you can see here we open up. Bearish fair, massive bearish new week opening gap gets filled straight away. I've come in and like I said, I always just come in and mark my obvious lows. This wick here looking very obvious. I've gone through. It took me 5 seconds. You can see it took me 5 seconds to do it now. I've marked out these significant areas of price. And then I'm just waiting to see if they get hit. I've got alerts at them. I see, oh, one of my alerts has been triggered here. Absolutely amazing. We sweep this level and this level. And look at the reaction that we're getting to this. And we've created this 5-minute fair value gap. So I see this in real time. And I go, okay, if we inverse this, I'll take this because this looks really good. You can see we've swept this really obvious area of liquidity here. We've swept this low really obviously. It had a really good reaction, created a 5-minute. And then, lo and behold, the next candle, perfect inverse. Absolutely amazing candle. Really, really good momentum. Perfectly what you want to see. 3 candle pattern V-shape. Great momentum. This is basically exactly what you want to see for taking this kind of trade. Liquidity sweep, amazing reaction, 3 candle pattern V-shape, good momentum. I enter on the inverse there. I'm risking about 4 micros, I think, on this one for $200 risk. So, basically looking to target the 1-for-1. So I wind this on. I'm in the trade. I'm monitoring it on whilst I'm doing something else. We come up, hit the 1-for-1, as you can see. So I took half my position off here, $100 profit, and I go break even. On the rest, bagged $100 profit, and then whatever happens after that, I'm not too concerned. And then we continue to run up. I'm still holding 2 micros here. And then once I see this next big push to the upside, we get up to around a 3-to-1. As you can see here. I started trailing another micro here. I've got 1 micro at break even and the other micro's trailing in profit now. So I'm up at about $200. Is it $200 profit on this second mic, on this 1 micro here? What is this like? Yeah, about 100 points. Almost 100 points, so about $200 profit. And then I get stopped at about a 3-to-1 on that one. I've got 1 more micro that I'm holding and I'm hoping to hit this high up here. If I wind this on, you can see going towards New York session, we very nearly hit the high, and then going into New York, we absolutely blast past the high. I start trailing my last micro in profit here, and I'm thinking we're going to go hit those highs up there, and lo and behold, we do. Over these next few candles, we go hit this high, which is where I TP finally. Made about $600 or $700 per account on this trade. The final runner goes for an 8-to-1. Probably overall made about a 3 or a 4-to-1 with the scales. So basically, really, really good trade. Absolutely perfect trade. Exactly what you want to see. Really, really good trade for my strategy. Absolute banger. So we move on. That's me definitely done trading on Monday. We move on to Tuesday and we get this next really, really good 5-minute. Really, really obvious levels of liquidity. We're going sideways before New York. New York opens up. Big swing down. Taking liquidity. And then a big momentum swing back up. Obvious 5-minute fair value gap. As you can see. Really, really good momentum. And we have even got trend line liquidity above, which you love to see. Enter on the inversion there. I think I took this with about 2 micros. Risking $200. And then basically we just ran all the way up, smashed the 1-for-1. Instead of taking half my profit off at a 1-for-1 on this one, I just trailed my stop loss, so we ended up getting up to about a 1.5, almost a 2-to-1 I would say, before this one got trailed, stopped in profit. And then basically I made about $200 on that. And then the second micro, I was just looking to target back up to this area here. And as you can see, we smashed all of these levels out on this move up, and then we even had a little bit of further move, and I think I took profit on the rest at like 3-to-1 or something, and we ended up making about $400 or $500 on this trade as well. So 2 for 2. I made about over $1,000 on the first 2 days of the week. Very pleased with that, and not really looking to take anything unless it's really, really good after that, because in reality that is incredibly, incredibly good. FOMC was Wednesday in the evening for me, which means that open was likely to be trash, and it was. You can see horrible price action here, really, really choppy. I would not be trading this at all. As you can see, there were a few potential gaps that you could have taken down here, but you can see there were a lot of inversions that failed here. inversion there that failed. There's quite a few inversions here that failed. This one here failed as well, and this is just because we had FOMC in the evening, and you can see by the price action of open, this is too choppy, and I wouldn't be trading this unless something really obvious popped out. We've got this insane FOMC trade, which I didn't take because the stop loss was too big for me. But you can see this one, accumulation, sideways, huge liquidity sweep, massive momentum back up, 3 candle pattern V-shape with incredibly huge momentum. I could have took this with 1 micro, I suppose, but you can see stop loss there too big for me. Probably could have taken that in reality, but I didn't really want to risk it when I'd already made so much money that week. Thursday, ridiculously huge dump to the downside here. But on the Thursday, crazy 500, 600 point dump. Wasn't really willing to take anything. I did take this trade on 5 of my accounts, not 25. Copy traded, just because I thought the momentum would probably send us higher. You can see this one worked for however long you wanted to hold it. I think I took about $300 or $400 profit on this one because I wasn't convinced with this huge dump to the downside we were going to continue up. And that was it. That was it for last week. Very, very good trading sessions. This week has been absolutely ass. I don't think many people have done well this week trading many strategies. Huge pump on Monday, huge dump on Tuesday, huge dump on Wednesday. Thursday we just chopped around a bit and then continued down. Friday looking like we're recovering so far. But overall, that's it, guys. It's really that simple. That's my strategy. And that is some examples last week that I took of trades that were winners on the 3 and 5 minute. It takes me 5 minutes a day to trade. It's really low stress. I don't have to be on the charts all the time. If you do want to get alerts and signals, you can get them down below. Please do like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.